President Donald Trump recently recommended a plan to curtail gun violence. However, the measures he wants to take have many Second Amendment supporters furious and on edge. The only question is, should we be? In light of the recent school shooting, Americans of all walks of life demand action. We know steps must be taken to prevent more bloodshed on school campuses. But how we address the issue will determine our future freedoms. There are some very clear steps that can be taken to prevent dangerous people from hurting others. We know these steps were shockingly neglected in the lead-up to the Parkland shooting. Warnings to the FBI were ignored. Friends and family closest to the shooter seemingly did nothing to disarm the dangerous man. And police tasked with guarding the school refused to act. Had these steps been taken, things would have been much different. But that doesn't stop the media from demanding changes that will take guns from law-abiding citizens. Their drastic calls for gun control will not prevent future violence, only make Americans more vulnerable. The worst part is, it looks like President Donald Trump might be going along with their anti-Second Amendment plans. In a recent meeting, he recommended disarming a person, seemingly before due process is done. Those comments sound a lot like the unhinged, alarmist sentiments voiced by uninformed liberals. They claim that going through the proper channels, upholding our constitutional rights, would take too long. There are shooters in the streets, they cry. Take everyone's guns. They want us in such a state of fear and panic that they bypass our fundamental right to due process. That won't fly in the United States. We are all innocent until proven guilty. Just because someone is worried about a person doesn't give them the right to disarm them. Law enforcement must go through the courts in order to ensure that a citizen is not abused. Does that take too long? No. Once the process begins, the threat of violence is diminished. Creating a policy that circumvents the court sounds a lot like something former President Barack Obama would do. It would create an environment where anyone can rob a neighbor of their guns based on their fears or grudges. Our society would turn into a witch hunt where rivals can disarm others simply on the basis of a hunch. Witch hunts can get pretty nasty, and President Trump ought to know that firsthand. Trump went on to discredit another Republican, one he once called a hero. He also supported terrible legislation from radical liberals. It appears that Trump is rejecting sound policy by conservatives and embracing leftism. That's no good, my friends. During the campaign, Trump vowed to support our Second Amendment rights. Democrats have zero respect for gun-owning Americans. Any legislation they put forward is another step in disarming citizens. It won't be too long before they deny us any access to firearms. A conservative president should know better. So, what's going on? Has Trump caved? Is he now going to betray the millions of people who supported him? Or is this another ruse to play Democrats for chumps? Donald Trump knows the art of the deal better than anyone, so could this all be a bluff and part of a bigger plan to have Democrats out themselves as attempting to completely abolish our Second Amendment? We don't know for sure, and that's the